The Bostonian is Matt Perrault.
This is our city.
The book is Dave Sharapan.
Pay him. Pay that man his money.
Together, they are the Bostonian versus the book.
You covered! You covered 12! I covered!
Follow the show on Twitter at Boston versus the book.
How do you like them apples?
Bringing you the best insight on sports betting news, Matt and Dave's daily picks, and an entertaining and unfiltered dive into the sports betting industry. Here's Dave Sharapan and Matt Perrault.
And here we go.
What's up, guys? How are you? Welcome into a Wednesday episode of the Bostonian versus the Book. My name is Matt Perrault. You guys can follow the show on Twitter and X at Boston versus the Book. That is the same handle we use for YouTube at Boston versus the Book, and where we are live. The live chat is rolling as it always is during our live show. Great time to hop in. If you guys have any questions, comments, whatever you want to get into, great place to do that. Always remember, you guys can kind of push the show forward if you'd like to do that as well with a super chat if you would like. If you're watching on the replay on Sports Grid Television and Sirius XM channel 159 listening to us, thank you for being here on the replay crew. We always appreciate you guys doing that. And if you want to come on over at Boston versus the Book, my name is Matt Perrault. Did I say that? I don't think I did. We are live today, 1 o'clock. Most days will be live at 1 o'clock Eastern time. And today we're going to be talking a little bit about the Brewers and what's going on with the Brewers. We're going to go to Milwaukee. Now, Austin Herdina is the sportsbook manager. That should be manager, not excuse me. Let me correct that in terms of the title for our guy. He's coming on from the Potawatomi Casino in Milwaukee. We'll get him to tell us the exact name of this thing, but it's a cool place. The book is awesome. We were going to do a show up there, and we did not get it done, but they got to be buried. I mean, I can't wait to hear what the book liability is from Austin on the Milwaukee Brewers. I mean, I've got a 27-1 ticket on the Brewers to win the World Series. There's got to be like a glaring red number, and I'm sure they're okay with it, but when you have a team that is this hot and they are winning at such a crazy clip, we'll get into it today about what the Brewers have done and what they are doing. The Cubs have the second best record in the National League, by the way. The Cubs have lost 14 games in the standings to the Brewers since the middle of May. 14 games in the standings. They were up by 7. They're now down by 7.5. on the Milwaukee Brewers. It's just an unbelievable, incredible thing rolling here for Milwaukee. So Austin's coming on in about 10 minutes or so. We'll talk about where we go and where they go coming up here next, because is this the year for Milwaukee? Or Cub fans keep on reminding me this team doesn't do well in the playoffs. They keep on telling me, Matt, they don't do well in the playoffs. Yeah, they're pitching great, and yeah, they're doing great right now. But what are they going to look like come postseason time? What are they going to do in October, rather? This is August. Like, what they're doing now doesn't matter. Let's see what they look like coming up in a couple of weeks. So we'll get to Austin Herdina coming up here in about 10 minutes, coming up on that. The opening line today, well, it's a comment. It's a podcast appearance. It's a statement made by an NBA player that I kind of can't believe he went there. And he did. Those comments, the subject of the opening line. All right, opening line for us. And we've talked a lot about this topic over the last couple of years. Michael Porter Jr.'s brother, Jontay Porter, was and has been the main culprit of a point shaving prop betting scheme that has sent people to jail. Like this is not hyperbole. This is fact that people here in Vegas, people in Toronto, people have gone to jail from the scheme to which Jontay Porter has been banned for life from the NBA for his involvement in this prop scheme. Lots of money, faking injuries, He's a two-way player. He's a guy who wasn't a multimillionaire. His brother, Michael Porter Jr., yep, now with the Brooklyn Nets after signing a free agent deal in the offseason to go there, leaving Denver to become a member of the Nets. Like, that is his brother. Like, Jonte Porter is a G leaguer. Jonte Porter was just a guy. He was a jag. Yet he got involved with the wrong people and now is facing a litany of legal and civil problems. Michael Porter Jr., 1 year after that story broke, and it rocked the sports betting world, it rocked the NBA world. Well, now Michael Porter Jr. thinks it's time to talk, and he decided to go on a podcast and lay it all out. The podcast, One Night with Steiny, Michael Porter Jr. said these two quotes. Think about it. If you can get all your homies rich by telling you bet 10K on my under, this one game, I'm going to act like I got an injury, and they all get a little bag. Some people come from nothing, and they think like that. He also said, and this is the headline piece, the whole sports gambling entity is bad, and it's only going to get worse. You can't win anymore. If you do too good, I'm messing up the people on the under. You are messing up people's money if they bet you on your overs or your unders. You are messing up some people's money. This is the problem in my mind. He shouldn't care. He shouldn't care about any of this. This is where we had, at one point in time, we had a separation between gambling and the game. Now, it was mostly because of the fact that gambling was only legal, game-by-game gambling was only legal here in Nevada. And the leagues fought for generations, basically, against the idea of legalization, right? It was going to destroy the fabric of sports. 39 states will have legalized sports betting by the end of 2025. Jonte Porter's own brother has been banned for life. So we have to ask the question, why is he talking about this now? Why is he talking about this publicly? He has to feel like this is not going to be a problem for him, and him coming out and talking about it with two of his friends on a very popular podcast basically, to me, means he's not afraid of anything. He is not involved with it. So why does he care? Well, I don't want, and this is something that Dave has said on this show since its inception. He doesn't want coaches, referees, players to have any idea what the line is, what the numbers are, what the prop bet market is. He wants them to be totally ignorant to anything happening in the game from a betting perspective. And I think he's right. I know Dave's right. He's right with that. We should not have these players caring about prop betting or point spreads or totals or anything. They should be completely ignorant to what is happening. And for a long time, we kind of knew that the guys had some idea, but we didn't know. Like, it wasn't known that everyone who was going out there to play in an NBA game or an NHL game or an NFL game, that they had any clue what the point spread was, or they had any clue what their prop market was. Now we know that they know, because they're telling us that they know. They are telling us that their friends are coming to them and they're talking about schemes. That's Michael Porter Jr. right there. That's an NBA player deciding to go out there and say, this is what my buddies are telling me to do. Go bet $10,000 on the under. I'm going to fake an injury. I'm going to come out of the game. That's exactly what his brother just got busted doing. And Michael Porter Jr. is out here confirming that this is happening in the NBA, that they know they can do this. They know they have the ability to do this, and that players are doing this consistently. So while you may ask, why would he talk about this? I think he's talking about this because it's happening so often that he wants it known that, look, my brother got popped for this, but there's so many other people doing this in the league right now that this is rampant. What's going on right now is everywhere. This is happening all over the place. And that is the nightmare scenario for the NBA, for the NHL, for Major League Baseball, for the NFL. That if the players know this and the players have guys around them and bad actors that say, hey, you're a bit nicked up, right? Okay, I need you just to play like a quarter. Just go in there. Because remember, what does the public bet? The public bets overs, right? The public always wants to bet on something that's going to happen. The public rarely bets on things to not happen. So if the public is all on the over for a certain player's prop, the books are going to welcome the under money. They're going to take it. If they've got a red number on the over, like Chase Brown right now, okay? Chase Brown, the running back for the Bengals. More money has been bet on his prop. ESPN Bet reported this yesterday. More money has bet at ESPN Bet on his over 4.5 touchdown prop than, or I guess 5.5 touchdown props for this season than any other prop, season-long prop so far in the NFL, right? Let's say that Chase Brown knows that he's got a bum ankle or he's got a need for surgery. And he tells all his friends, hey, everyone's on the over. Come in and bet the under. The books are going to take the under money. They're going to want the under money. Well, if a kid who grew up with Brown knows something that the public does not, and he's going to go and, you know, hey, I'm going to put out, it's a plus 200 bet, whatever it might be. I'm going to put $5,000 down and I'm going to put $5,000 down across 5 or 6 different books. It may be hard to track. It may be hard to find it. This is the problem. This is where, and I don't care what type of service is out there, the policing services that are out there, the quote integrity services that are out there. This is about the integrity of the game. And so Michael Porter Jr. deciding to go on out and make these comments publicly, as flippant as he has, there has to be some thought to what he has done here. He had to have known, if I do this, this is what I want out there. So to me, I think he wants it out there that his brother got popped for it, but don't think that my brother's a unique situation. There's a lot of other players out here in the NBA who are doing the exact same thing, and you all just aren't talking about it, and the feds haven't caught up to it yet. Because otherwise, it's just a ramble that makes no sense, that puts a gigantic spotlight on you and your sport. And if you're in the NBA league office today, you come into the office, you put your glasses on, you have a cup of coffee, and you spit it out all across your keyboard and go, what did you say? Wait, what? Why would you do this? Like, this is immediately a phone call to his agent and says, get him on the phone now. We got to talk. Why would you voluntarily come out here and tell us that your homies are trying to get rich off of you? Why would you just lay out the exact scheme that your brother got popped for? And again, people have gone to jail. Like, this is not playtime. This is not a joke. This is not Taylor Swift going on New Heights tonight. This is real. Okay? This is real life crap. People are going to jail. We're not playing around here, Michael Porter. This is real. And you can say the whole sports gambling entity is bad. It's only going to get worse. Well, what do you mean by that? It's only going to get worse. Because if I'm the league, I'm going, all right, you're willing to talk publicly about this. Start naming names. What do you mean? Who is doing this? What do you know? I don't get the logic from Michael Porter Jr. Like, this doesn't make any sense. Your brother has gone down for this. Your brother is facing serious charges in 2 countries, Canada and the United States, over this. They have cops arresting people here in Vegas trying to get on planes. Like, this is not a joke. And he's out here flipping around going, man, it's only going to get worse. Huh? Again, my only thought behind it is he must be trying not to clear his brother's name, but to make it not as big of a deal that like, hey, my brother did it, but there's like 20 other guys doing it. So like, don't drag my family name through the mud because he's a lone wolf, right? And this was the same thing that happened in the wake of other scandals that have happened in the NBA. Like they made it like an isolated incident. Like only one guy did this, right? Tim Donaghy. He's a lone wolf. Only one guy, only one bad referee ever. And then like the people around who've been around are like, what are you talking about? Like, yeah, there's been multiple referees who've been having problems. Like Donaghy wasn't a lone actor. A bunch of people did it. So this is like crazy to go, he's the only one doing this. Like, come on. He's not. The league wants us to believe that Jontay Porter is the only one doing this. Nobody else did this. So my logic, my only thought is Michael Porter Jr. must want us to know that, that other people are doing it without him having to call out names. Otherwise, it's one of the stupidest public comments in recent memory to go out and say this stuff publicly on a podcast and think that nobody was going to pay attention. It's a good point, Joseph Myers. He's trying to normalize or justify what his brother did. Yes. And Brendan, he talked about Malik Beasley. If you watch the whole clip, it's a 5-minute clip of this that's out there. He talked about Malik Beasley. He talked about the players that are under investigation for what they have done. So yeah, he is talking about this. 100%. Is he under the microscope for the rest of his career, Brendan? Maybe. I mean, that's possible. He might be under the microscope. I just don't understand the logic. I watched the clip like 5 times. I can't understand the logic of why he would, somebody else who is like just appearing on a podcast. I guess like this would be news. If an NBA player, an active NBA player was talking about this publicly, it would be like, oh my gosh, wow, I can't believe he's saying this publicly. This guy's brother was in the center of all of this. Of all people to be talking about this, Michael Porter Jr. should have been, I mean, his agent must be just going crazy today, going like, I can't believe you did this. Why would you talk about this publicly and put yourself attached to this story even more than what your family name has already been a part of? We're not done with it, obviously. We'll see where the rest of this goes. But for today, is he right that it's only going to get worse and not better? Yeah, he's right. It's only going to get worse. Yes, I would agree. But in what way, how, and then the other side of the coin, was it always going on anyway? Was it always happening anyway? So now, because it's legal, because we have legalization, we can investigate it more now, and sunlight is the best disinfectant. So now that we know it's going on, now we can try to root it out and get rid of it, versus never knowing what was going on and having no idea that that was happening because it was in the black market, offshore, yada, yada, yada. So watch that story. All right, let's talk about the Brewers. What is going on in Milwaukee? 13th team with multiple win streaks of at least 11 games in a season since 1900. We haven't seen it since 2015 when the Toronto Blue Jays did it. 1954. The Cleveland, I think they were the Spiders at the time, and the Cubs in 1935. The Brewers have 2 of those win streaks this year. Multiple win streaks of at least 11 games, a 14-0 win yesterday. Let's go to Milwaukee. Our guy, Austin Herdina, sportsbook manager at, look, I'm going to kill Potawatomi. Is that right? Am I saying it right?
Austin Herdina, Potawatomi Sportsbook.
Thank you, Austin. I appreciate it. How are you, sir? Good to see you. Thank you for joining BvB.
Excellent. Thank you for having me.
All right. From a book perspective, how big of the liability do you have on the Brewers right now when it comes to the World Series?
Oh, it's getting larger every day. We get more people coming in every day that are, following this hot streak and wanting to get on it. We're in the 6 digits, and by the end of the season, it might even hit 7 digits. We'll see.
I have a 27-1 ticket myself on it. So I not at your book, but I am right there with the rest of the people who are, and I saw it 3 weeks ago, so I got it before all of this. But what's it like on the ground right now watching Brewers games at your book?
Oh, it's amazing. The sports book is filling up every day, and it's just there's so much excitement around this team. It's a story of we're a smaller market team. We don't attract free agents exactly. All right, we have to kind of build our team up. I think that it's just so exciting. You know, I grew up in a small town outside of Green Bay. I was there when the Packers were winning Super Bowls, going to Super Bowls. It's exciting. You know, I'm in Milwaukee now, and I never thought in my life I'd see a Milwaukee Bucks championship. Saw that a few years ago. Now a team that is one of the favorites for the World Series and the Brewers. So, I mean, it's exciting.
When you guys are showing the game, I mean, is it the only game you can show? Like, is there any other interest right now in Major League Baseball besides when the Brewers are playing? Is it just all Milwaukee Brewers baseball?
Oh no. So we have a 2,000 square foot screen. We can put like up to like 32 different games up if we wanted to. But like for the Brewers, yeah, we have that, you know, center focus with the audio, on other TVs around the room as well. That's what people are coming in for right now, in August on the weekdays, especially. It's just, yeah, people are coming in, they're betting the Brewers daily. They're betting the Brewers, you know, to win the NL, to win the World Series. And it was just, you know, August 1st, the Brewers were plus 105. The Cubs were actually the favorite to win the division. And I was telling people, I think that the Brewers can still, like, they're hot right now, and I think they can continue it. And here they are. Now they're, minus 500, I think. I mean, they have a pretty big lead in the division.
Austin, I haven't seen the schedule yet for the playoffs for Major League Baseball. And it came out yesterday. But hypothetically speaking, the Green Bay Packers are playing a game at the same time the Brewers are in a playoff game. What's the sound on in the book? Which game?
That's a great question. I think it has to be a Brewer playoff game. And then I think, you know, just during those little commercials, we'll switch over to the Packers. But it's got to be the Brewers playoffs right now.
Is there more hype around the Brewers than the Packers?
That's such a good question. I think it's something where, you know, the Packers have been consistently good my entire life. Right. I'm 38 years old. I think I've only seen, you know, less than 5 winning seasons for the Packers my whole life. Whereas the Brewers have kind of been the opposite, right? They were not good at all in the 90s and 2000s, and they've had some good teams in the last 10 to 15 years, but it's something that we know that, you know, we don't get these opportunities very often. I can't recall, you know, the last time, obviously, we were this hot or had potentially home field in the playoffs. I mean, that's what we're looking at right now. And the stadium is, you know, it could be a Wednesday, right? Like today, and the stadium is selling out. Like we're selling all 43,000 tickets. So the city is just so around this team.
It's really a neat story to watch because they are in the bottom 10 for payroll. Pat Murphy's got these guys pitching their butts off. You lead the league in OPS. They don't have a big name guy. I mean, no offense to Christian Yelich, but it's not like you guys have a 40, 50, $60 million a year player on your roster. It feels like a Green Bay, a Milwaukee, a Wisconsin type of team. Does that help the storyline that this is just kind of like the little engine that could up against the Cubs who have such a bigger payroll?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's a different star that's making that's helping us win each day. I mean, this last week, Isaac Collins was the NL Player of the Week. He wasn't even on the roster a few months ago, right? He wasn't a major leaguer. It's so exciting. And you mentioned Pat Murphy. I mean, he was manager of the year last year. How often does it happen where, you know, someone wins back-to-back years? It's only happened twice ever. And right now he's the favorite in the NL for the third time ever. He could win back-to-back. Usually the manager of the year goes to someone that, you know, just surpasses expectations. And to do that 2 years in a row is just really awesome. So, I mean, the fans around here, you know, we believed in the Brewers. I think before the season, we were seeing like division winner was like plus 325 or plus 350. We took a lot of bets on that. That obviously looks really good right now. But yeah, it's a team that we definitely believe in around here.
Addison's asking a question. Austin, if you had to choose one brew to drink while watching the Brewers this season, what would it be? Do you have a favorite beverage to watch when the Brewers are playing?
Oh man, you know what? So Milwaukee, I mean, we call us the Cream City, right? Where we have brewers. I just went on a brewery tour of Miller Brewery a few weeks ago with some friends I visited. I like Miller Genuine Draft. I think that's one of my favorites.
All right. Talk about the book for a little bit. You guys have been open for a while now. How has business gone? How is the exposure for you guys gone? It's gorgeous. I can't wait to see it with my own eyes. But the pictures I've seen, the video I've seen, you guys have an unbelievable operation that really isn't that far away. Obviously, it's close to Milwaukee, but it's not that far from Chicago either, right?
No, it's from downtown Chicago. It's about, I don't know, maybe like between an hour and a half, hour and 45 minutes, just straight north. But yeah, it's we've been around since about just over 2 years ago. Our main sportsbook space that we're in right now, we've been in there just over a year, and we have 2,000 square foot screen. We have 94 kiosks on the property. Wisconsin, I mean, every state has different gaming laws, right? Wisconsin is in a position where it's all run by the tribes in the state, and we don't have mobile betting, so like you only can place bets on tribal land. So we have an app that's going to be coming this winter. At the moment, it's just you got to come into the property, place your bets at the kiosk or at the counter. We have 10 ticket writer windows, and on Saturdays and Sundays during football season, they are all in use and they're all busy. The numbers we're seeing are really crazy. And then even the kiosks, like we have 94 of them, and it'll be right now on a Wednesday afternoon, like they're going to be all in use. Like it is a sports town. Milwaukee is definitely a sports town. Yeah. And yeah, it's an awesome sports book. We got a restaurant right in our sports book with some amazing food and drink, and it's just a great experience for everyone to come in. And we have a shuttle. We just started a shuttle service. So like, if you're coming and staying at our hotel and you want to go to the Brewer game, a couple of weeks ago I went to a Brewer game. I paid $42 to park. You come to the Potawatomi Sportsbook, you place a bet for $5 or more, and you get a free ride on the shuttle there and back. And it's like a 4-minute ride from our sports book to the stadium. So, I mean, you're saving so much money right there.
Well, that's very cool. Nice. That's good to know for sure. Are Packer fans worried at all about Jordan Love and the surgery he's going to have on his non-throwing hand? But it is your starting quarterback having surgery right before the start of the year. Any worries there?
I think a little, just that, now do we label him as injury prone? Because he just seems like he has not made it through a full season. It's the preseason right now. He wasn't going to play a lot anyways. Obviously better now than next month for this to happen. But at the same time, you want to go into the season 100% healthy. And that's seemingly like that's not going to be the case. So hopefully it heals quick and it's something that doesn't bother him. But, I mean, we'll see. Time will tell.
You mentioned that the Packers in your life have been good. The division's going to be interesting. Lions lost both coordinators, one of which goes to the Bears. Second year for Caleb. How do you feel about the Packers' chances of winning the division?
I think that Packer fans feel like the Lions are the team to beat in the division. But I also feel like any 4 teams really could do it, and any 4 teams could finish last. Like, it really is a good division right now. The Bears are going to be better than they have been. Minnesota had just one hell of a year last year. Like, I don't know what to expect from them necessarily this year. No more Darnold, but they got McCarthy. They obviously have to make that move. They must feel comfortable about it. And then, the Lions have been on paper, you look at their roster, they're the best roster. Last year, they had so many injuries, and that just kind of what derailed them at the end of the year. But the Packers, I mean, we don't know who our number one receiver is. We have like 5 guys that could be our number one receiver. We just don't know. So I think that in our rushing game is fantastic, but we need to throw the ball better this year, and we need to get a pass rush on the quarterback. I mean, those are the 2 things that every team wants to do, right? But that's 2 struggles that the Packers have had that they need to overcome.
I know it's been a minute and Aaron Rodgers has left and played for multiple teams, but how is he seen now? Do Packer fans want him to do well with the Steelers? Do they want him to snap the other Achilles? Like how does Milwaukee perceive Aaron Rodgers?
I can speak for most Packer fans. I'd say most Packer fans want to see them do well. They just don't want to see them beat the Packers. It's kind of like when Favre went to Minnesota, right? We wanted him to do fine, but we didn't want him to beat the Packers. We wanted the Packers to still beat them and do better. With Rodgers, gosh, I mean, it's one of those things where we don't know how much longer we're going to have him for. This might be his final year. He says this is going to be his final year, but who knows if that's true. But yeah, he's in the AFC. We're not really expecting to really see him this year. I hope he does well. I just hope that if we play him, that he doesn't beat us.
What are the Super Bowl? Like, what's a typical? Obviously, you guys are in Green Bay. You're in Milwaukee, so you're around Packer fans who are going to bet their team to win the Super Bowl. But like, where are your liabilities other than the Packers for the Super Bowl? Who do folks in Wisconsin like this year from a betting perspective?
I mean, the Packers is definitely overwhelmingly the most bet team for us. The Buffalo Bills been getting a lot of action. I think that's something where, a lot of people look at them last year and they were just a player or two away from going to the Super Bowl. They're a team that they're just a trendy pick, right? People love betting on a team that has a star quarterback. They feel reliable with that. And Buffalo and gosh, I'm trying to think, like Chiefs. Even the Chiefs, still people just coming in expecting them to just keep getting it done because they've done it so often.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard not to. I mean, you're in the Midwest, so it's hard not to see Chief fans come on up and be a part of that. And I can't remember, the Chiefs used to go to who used to go to Wisconsin to have their training camps. Because Casey goes to St. Joe's.
Several teams did. So the Chiefs used to.
Yeah, because I went there and covered it up there in Wisconsin for a while.
Was that the one in Platteville? Someone was in Platteville, like in Southwest Wisconsin.
That was the Vikings, I think.
Okay. I know that there's been a lot of different teams that have come up here, but now just the Packers. Over time, I think there's been 4 or 5, but now we're just down to Packers.
Okay.
A lot of teams are just staying home now.
Right.
They're building these phenomenal $1 billion facilities. They don't need to go to training camp and put their $1 million players in dorm rooms and stuff. You don't see that very often anymore.
All right, let me get you out of here. I got two more questions. The first is, in terms of the day-to-day, and like, do your customers bet a lot of props when it comes to the Brewers? Or are they betting sides and totals mostly when it comes to their games?
Both. I mean, we're right now during this hot streak, a lot of people are just riding it and just riding Brewers money line. Some of them going run line. But yeah, props. People love betting parlays. Our bettors love parlays. They love same game parlays. They're just hammering everything Brewers right now. We're seeing some crazy tickets. The other day we had one for like $5, cash for $16,000.
Whoa.
It was nuts.
Was it the same game on the Brewers, or was it?
It had some elements of it. It had like, I think 3 or 4 things of the Brewers game, and then he picked like a bunch of other baseball games. 1 or 2 guys that like hit home runs. I mean, it was pretty much looked like a grocery receipt. It was a long folded up ticket. But yeah, I mean, people win them sometimes. It's pretty crazy.
Absolutely. All right. If I'm somebody in the Chicago, Milwaukee, Midwest area, give me a reason. Why am I coming up to your sports book, and what am I going to experience when I come up to see you guys?
There is not a better place to watch the games in the Midwest. I mean, like I said before, our giant screen, it's amazing. I mean, we have such a huge casino, not just the sports book, but if you're into other things, if you're into the table games and the slots, we even have bingo. I mean, we have a lot at our casino. We have a really good steakhouse. Our restaurant that's in the sports book is phenomenal as well. You can come down, make a reservation, get your table, and like, you're putting money down for a reservation. You're just like, that money's going towards your food and beverage. So you're not actually paying for your table. It's just towards your food and beverage for the day. But yeah, it's an amazing space, and we have top-notch customer service. Like I said, we have 10 ticket writer windows. We have 94 kiosks. You are not going to be having to wait in line to place your bets very often. Like, you come in, we're going to take care of you. You're going to be able to watch the games. You're going to have a great time.
Austin, I apologize for mispronouncing Herdina The last name at the Open. That's my bad on that. I apologize. We've been wanting to have you on for a while. We're gonna do it again, okay? Because we got these Brewers aren't going anywhere. I got the 27-1 ticket on it. We're gonna be locked in on the Brewers run line. Brewers today. They're gonna take care of the Pirates, win it by more than 1.5 today. It goes to 12. I think the streak will continue for the Milwaukee Brewers. Thank you for the time, my friend. Let's do it again soon. All right.
Thank you.
Good stuff with Austin. And sorry, I pulled myself off the air. Incredible run for the Milwaukee Brewers. I mean, what a season they have been having for Milwaukee, and that's where we're going to pick it right up here with what happened last night. Well, what happened last night? The Brewers, we picked it right there, 14-0. Beat the Pirates. They racked Paul Skeens, ruined Paul Skeens, one of his worst starts ever in the major leagues. 11th straight win. On May 24th, the Milwaukee Brewers were 25-28 on the season. Since, they've gone 50-16, including 2 11-game winning streaks. Not one, but 2 11-game winning streaks. The Cubs have the second best record in the National League. The second best record. And they've lost 14 games in the standings to the Brewers since May 24th. Like, that's ridiculous. The Cubs haven't been playing great, but oh my gosh. I mean, it's one of those like, wow moments when it comes to the season as to what is happening. Again, I have the 27-1. It's down to 9-1 at certain books now for the Brewers to win the World Series. Does it mean they win the World Series? No, but they're going to be in the playoffs. We're going to be able to hedge off of it. We're going to be able to play off that 27-1 that I have. Hopefully you guys have some semblance of it, because that team, every single night, it's a different dude. Like, they are pitching incredibly well. They are hitting incredibly well. They get just timely offense. It's not anything, it's not one guy every night. Andrew Vaughn, who couldn't make the Chicago White Sox roster. Andrew Vaughn couldn't make the White Sox. He was DFA'd, sent to AAA, let go. Since 8 home runs, 32 RBIs in 27 games with the Brewers, including another bomb last night, to give you an idea. You heard Austin talk about Isaac Collins, the rookie who's 28 years old, 9th round pick in 2019. Leads all NL rookies in multiple categories. Just named the National League Player of the Week, and he's now the betting favorite to win the National League Rookie of the Year. Quinn Priester. Quinn Priester was garbage before this year. ERA over 6 in the bigs. This year with Milwaukee, he's 11-2 with an ERA under 3.5. Like, this isn't just a fluke with one guy or 2 guys. This is the team. Pat Murphy's team. Just a bunch of guys. Just a bunch of dudes. It is. I told you what one bet is in just the picks. Brewers run line against the Pirates. I mean, I think they finish this off and then they go on the road. A lot of baseball left. Not saying it's over in terms of the number 1 seed, but it's close to being over for the number 1 seed. They have a 7.5 game lead. We don't have enough games left. We're up by 7.5 games. Just not enough games left here in the middle of August until the end of September to blow that. So can the Dodgers catch them? Maybe. Can somebody else in the National League catch them? Maybe. But the division should be the Brewers, and the number 1 seed and home field in the postseason, the first round bye, all of that should be the Milwaukee Brewers, which only helps the ticket for them to win the World Series. A lot of fun baseball coming. And as you heard from Austin, a Brewers playoff game would supersede at their sportsbook, at the Potawatomi Sportsbook Casino. They would put a Brewers playoff game on the Sound over a Packers regular season game, which there's not many times I could ever think that would be possible. That's a rarity to see that happen. We had it yesterday. We have it again today. Ohtani watch. All right, this is a rarity. Ohtani watch. Yesterday, Ohtani hits his 43rd home run on the season and then hit into a triple play. A triple play. I can't play it because I don't have access to the highlights, but maybe the fastest triple play I can remember. Just a liner up the middle, caught first and second, steps on second base for the second out, throws to first, third out. Unreal. Bang, bang, bang play for a triple play. And the Dodgers lose again to the Angels. The Dodgers are now 12-20 since the 4th of July. That is one of the worst records in all of baseball. Now, the Padres were a big winner at the trade deadline. They made big moves, and they have caught the Dodgers in the National League. The Padres are 100% live to win the National League West. If I'm a Dodger fan, I'm beginning to really worry about what's happening because, yes, the injuries have been a big problem, but they are not playing baseball in a way that you want, and it's August. You can tell me that September, October, they'll turn a corner, they'll go back to looking like the Dodgers. Maybe. But right now, the Dodgers are still in first. Well, aren't they tied? Well, hold on. I forget what happened last night. Did the Padres lose? Is it a 1-game lead in the standings? It's not like, yeah, no, they're tied. They're tied for first place. They caught. I was right. The Padres caught the Dodgers. They are tied with the same record, 68-52. 68-52. They may be in first place. People were talking about this team winning 120 games. They're not going to win 100. Are they going to win 90? I mean, those are real questions right now for the Dodgers as to who they are. Who are they? Are they one of the top 3 teams in the National League? On paper, they are. Their roster would tell you that they are, but they aren't playing like it. They're just not playing. They're not pitching like it. That's for sure either. Maybe good time for a Dodgers future. Okay. Don't hate that. It's plus 200, plus 250, depending on the book that you're looking at. They're still the odds-on favorite to win it all. Yes. They should be fine, you would think. But they are cold right now. Now, I'd rather be cold in August and hot in October. I'll give you that 100%. But there's no guarantee that they are going to be able to avoid a wild card series with the way things are going at the moment. So it helps to get that bye. It helps to get the bye for sure. So, and there's a lot of people who think this ish, still don't think they make the World Series. A lot of people don't think Yankees, Dodgers, your big ticket, big market teams are struggling in a big, big way. And yes, Dodgers and the Padres coming up this weekend, Brendan. Yep. We'll see. Unless the Padres win. If the Padres sweep them and the Padres have a 3-game lead after that, yeah, the odds will change. You better believe the odds are going to change, but not in the way we're talking about here. Not in the positive if you're a Dodger fan. So, yeah, and that's true. The buys didn't help teams last year. That's right, Joel. Yep. The buys weren't nearly as significant as we thought that they would be last year, but I do think ultimately you want the buy than not wanting the buy. Alex Bregman went deep again for the Red Sox against his former team in the Astros. This time the game goes much differently. Boston lost the first game 7-6. Garrett Crochet was awful. Instead, Boston goes out there and blows out the Houston Astros yesterday. Same 2 teams will play coming up here for today. We'll see if Bregman can go deep for a 3rd consecutive game against his former team. And speaking of home runs, Pete Alonso. I was watching Mad Dog today on ESPN, and I've told the story before, but Mad Dog is maybe the biggest influence in my sports talk career. And I've told this to Chris. I've interviewed him a bunch of times and told him what Mike and the Mad Dog at WFAN in New York, just because I'm a fast talking Northeast kid and he's a fast talking Northeast guy. I'm 48, so I'm not really a kid, but I've always, people hate Mad Dog. I love Mad Dog. And he went crazy today about the Mets celebrating Pete Alonso's record-breaking home run last night because the Phillies have been playing much better baseball than the Mets have, and saying that why are we celebrating Pete Alonso passing Darryl Strawberry for the most home runs in Mets history because the team did not even want to bring him back. And that's true. I mean, Pete Alonso basically settled on the Mets and going back to the Mets. He wanted to leave. He wanted to get paid big time, and he didn't get the offers that he wanted to. So he went back to New York, hit 2 home runs last night. I don't think anybody really cares about the Mets single season career, not single season, but career home run mark. I don't think anybody really cared about it. Now, the broadcast team made a big deal about it. They were excited. But across baseball, like I think some Met fans cared about Pete Alonso passing Darryl Strawberry, but that's not like a coveted record. Like it's different than like the New York Yankees all-time home run record, right? That would be something that would be celebrated across the entire league. No disrespect to the Mets. They're just not the Yankees in terms of history of Major League Baseball. So I don't think anybody knew Darryl Strawberry held that record until Pete Alonso got close to breaking it. Then people started paying attention to it. So I don't know. I didn't have a problem with the call like Mad Dog did, but it was a yawn story. Like, congrats, Pete. Like, good for you. Like, we're happy for you. I'm not really all that excited. It's the Mets. All right, just the picks. I've already told you one of it. Just go and keep betting it. So yesterday I told you the price was wrong for the Brewers and the Pirates. I don't normally do that, and it's really a frustration when Dave's not here because it's always good to get Dave's take on pricing. And I probably should have asked Austin about that, but I thought his book is probably different from a pricing standpoint just because of how inundated they're going to be with Brewers money. So their lines aren't really the same as across the country. But minus 125 against Paul Skeens yesterday was just dead wrong. That number was a gift to anyone betting. And a 14-0 win. I said bet run line if you want. I took money line at minus 125. It's one of those games where you're like, man, why didn't I bet more? Like I should have bet more on that game than I did. Easy win. Crushed them early, blew them out, blew the game open late, 14-0 win for the Brewers. I think they could win today, not 14-0, but just keep on betting them. Like until further notice, just keep on betting the Brewers. And I think from a scheduling standpoint, this is a great time to do it because they're going on the road after today. They have an off day tomorrow. Then they play at Cincinnati and at Chicago for 5 games. It's a 5-game, including a doubleheader on Monday against the Cubs to make up for a rain delay game. So this is a game where I think you could say, all right, the off day, and then on Friday, they probably lose Friday to snap the streak. But because the game is scheduled to start in 30 minutes, this is a day game. It's a early start in Milwaukee. It's a 1:10 start in Milwaukee Central Time, 2:10 Eastern. So I just think you bet it. It's Keller. The team has won 5 games in a row started by Keller. So the Pirates play well for Mitch Keller, but it's Woodruff who is 6-0. He has not lost. The team has not lost a game started by Brandon Woodruff since he's come back from injury. So just bet it again. Just Brewers on the run line. You can bet money line if you want. It's a little expensive. On the flip side, I think you keep on fading the Cubs. I mean, the Blue Jays money line is only minus 120. And I think the Blue Jays at home, whenever you get a price like this low, I think you have to take the Blue Jays until further notice. They've been so good at home, and the Cubs offense is so quiet. I mean, they are so cold over the last 6 weeks or so. It's been July into August. I mean, up and down the lineup. Pete Crow Armstrong has really cooled off. Kevin Gausman's been very good for the Blue Jays, in particular at home. 39-19, the home record for the Blue Jays. The Cubs are 31-29 on the road, but losing 5-1 yesterday. Second game of the series, Cade Horton going, who is not bad. I mean, Cade Horton's not horrible, but on the road has a 5.19 ERA. He's 3-3 with an opposing batting average of 294 for him. The team has won 3 games in a row, though, started by Cade Horton. So I'm taking the Blue Jays at home, money line, Blue Jays. And finally, Orioles and the Mariners. This number opened up at 9. It was immediately bet to the under at 8.5. And I don't know if it's kept on coming down or not, but I like the under in this game. I don't think there's going to be a lot of offense here for either team. Mariners most likely win the game today. The Mariners are probably the side to jump on, but 3 games in a row losses for the Orioles, and they're not scoring. Trevor Rogers goes for the Orioles. His ERA at home is under 1. He has a .42 ERA, 21 and 2/3 innings so far pitched for Trevor Rogers at home, 1 earned run given up. Opposing batting average of .086. So you would expect him to keep the Mariners down. And on the flip side, Logan Gilbert is going, who's been good on the road, not outstanding, but good on the road. And a guy who, when started, the team has won 4 of 5 games started by Logan Gilbert, 3-4, the 3.35 ERA, and the Orioles haven't been scoring, like I mentioned. So under 8.5 for the Orioles and the Mariners coming up here for today. Prop bet time. We missed yesterday. All right, we hit the prop bet on Monday, missed it on Tuesday. Let's talk about it coming up here on a Wednesday. I am going to go back to our guy, Brandon Lau, over 1.5 total bases for him today up against the A's. JT Ginn is going for the A's. This is in Sacramento. This is obviously an opportunity to see this ballpark. Brandon Lau has gone 2 for 2 so far here in this series, over 1.5 bases. He had 3 last night. He had 5 the game before, had 2 hits last night, a double and a single. The night before that, he had 2 hits, including a home run and 1 single. So he's been hitting well in this ballpark. The pricing is pretty aggressive here. It's not bad. Plus 105 for Brandon Lau. We're going over 1.5 total bases for the Rays. Brandon Lau at plus 105 to go 3 for 3 here for him. 3 for 3 on this series against the A's for over 1.5 total bases. Time for our friends at Circa Sports, the pro football story of the day. If you guys are looking to be a part of the biggest football handicapping contest of all time every year, Circa keeps on bringing more and more to the table, and this year is no exception. $15 million for Survivor, $6 million for Circa Million. They have had an incredible run, and just, it's so fun to be a part of what Circa's been up to. And we're going to be live there on Thursday and Friday from 11 till 1 Pacific time, 2 until 4 Eastern time for a live episode, 2 episodes of the Bostonian versus the book. Super excited to be a part of this. Super excited to watch how this is all going to play out. And I think we have an opportunity to just, really see this contest become as big as anything we have seen in the sports betting world in America, if not already. I think the new documentary, because it's the second year for the documentary, and it's so good to see Dave on all those episodes. He's all over that documentary for Circa Survivor, the quest for 14.2 million, that now has all 10 episodes, by the way, have been released. You can go and check that out, but just go and search that, the quest for 14.2 million on YouTube. You can find it, but it's so good to watch. It's such a fun thing. It's such a fun thing to watch, and Dave to be a part of that, how much fun Dave has talking about the contest with Circa, and we can't wait to be there. So circasports.com. I apologize. I normally can put something up on the screen, but I can't do that because it's frozen. So StreamYard has now had a little bit of an issue. I can move through everything else, but I can't put the thing on the screen that I normally do for Circa. So I apologize for that. But for this, this is pretty wild. So Taylor Swift is set to appear tonight on the New Heights podcast. That podcast is set to drop coming up tonight at 7 p.m. Eastern time. I don't know how many people are going to watch it. I don't know what the record is. 100 million views is right now the bar for the most watched podcast of all time. I'm not sure Taylor on New Heights will do that, but Taylor Swift talking to Jason Kelce and to her boyfriend and to Travis will be remarkable. And what they've dropped, I mean, there's all these Easter eggs. Look at the books behind Taylor and Travis during the episode. They all mean something to Swifties. They've already all uncovered all the Easter eggs, all the orange. You're going to hear that a ton on the internet after tonight. You're going to hear everything about the new album. You're going to hear everything about Travis and what they've done and everything. That's happening tonight. But Travis Kelce is the subject of a GQ article that just came out. And in that article, he admitted that he's been chasing aspirations for basically being a celebrity, that he's wanted to be a celebrity, that he's wanted to be part of Hollywood, that was really an important thing for him to be a part of. And I thought it was a pretty interesting admission that that's taken away his intensity. It's taken away his interest. It's taken away his focus, because he wanted to be in movies like Happy Gilmore 2 and whatnot. So I don't know. Maybe it means that Travis is refocused. He's down in weight. By all accounts, he's looked good in camp with the Chiefs. He thinks he is going to play better at a lighter weight. And KC hopes that he's going to be back to where he is. I don't know. I don't know. I think there's going to be a lot of scrutiny on him at 36 years of age, because of who his girlfriend is. And Chief fans, and it's kind of funny because Taylor in the actual trailer for the episode that will air tonight makes the joke that a lot of men watch this podcast, and this is exactly what men in America want, more of me, meaning Taylor Swift. So I give her credit for poking fun at herself and how much she's out there and how sick people are of seeing Taylor on their screens and seeing her at football games and whatnot. But for Jason Kelce and Travis Kelce to get Taylor on there talking, every Swiftie on across the world will be glued to that tonight. And maybe some people are joking that it might crash. Maybe, I don't know. But that's going to be a big story in the pop culture world. But to me, I think Kelce admitting to being distracted by Hollywood, that's a bigger deal to me. That's a bigger deal from a sports perspective. So if he's refocused and he's now committed to football and being a football player, well, okay, I'd be a little angry. He played like crap in the Super Bowl. He was awful, dropping passes. He was all over the place in the Super Bowl. Chiefs got their asses kicked. So now what happens this year? Are they on the bounce back? Maybe. Very possible. Good receiving core. Mahomes is still there. Reed is still there. But for how long? How much more? Because by all accounts, the 12th album from Taylor Swift, we'll see how many more she winds up producing. They're both in their mid-30s. At some point, people are expecting them to get married and start a family and go into the next stage of their lives. You want to talk about a distraction? Trav, forget talking about Hollywood. Have a kid. Enjoy that distraction. It's an unbelievable one, but it's a big distraction. And lack of sleep, lack of travel, lack of flexibility, everything else that's going to go into being a parent, that's a pretty big one. So I'll be curious to see what happens next if that's where it goes. But Kelce tonight, we'll see what he says about being distracted. If they talk about it. He talked about it with GQ. The pictures are weird. I'm sorry. The GQ pictures are odd. If you like that type of stuff, okay. But those pictures are strange to me. Didn't know what to make of it. But tonight, maybe one of the most anticipated podcast interviews of all time on the New Heights podcast, when Travis gets to interview his girlfriend, Taylor Swift, tonight on that. I'm sure I won't be the last one to mention it here tonight. All right, it is time for the Brigade Practice Service College Football Team of the Day, Story of the Day. It's a double whammy on this. You guys can get in touch with us by texting us for the Brigade Practice Service, 702-570-8255. I am hopefully going to be able to give you guys a full update tomorrow. I got a bunch of stuff happening today, including hopefully seeing Dave this afternoon, and be able to get through everything we need to get through for the Brigade Practice Service. So hopefully tomorrow on the show, I'll have more information about what we're doing with the Practice Service for how it's going down, but we will hopefully be able to give you all the info as to what's going to happen, but we're still doing it. We're still going to be alive. So with you guys to consign you up, all those things, send a text at 702-570-8255 for your appointment. Question: who could be this year's version of Indiana in college football? Who could come out of nowhere and surprise everybody? How about Cincinnati? And I apologize for this because I can't. Let's see if I do this. What happens here? Can I use it? I can't. I don't know what's going on at StreamYard because I can't put the logo on the screen the way I'm supposed to, or put the schedule on the screen the way I want to, because, and this is a StreamYard problem, the schedule for Cincinnati is fascinating. Now, they're bringing back a quarterback who now will have a ton of new weapons, including a whole new receiving core out of the NIL world. This Cyrus Allen kid is supposed to be really good. But beyond that, it's the schedule for Cincinnati. Their schedule is pretty interesting because they don't play the top teams in the Big 12. We'll continue this on the other side, but they play Nebraska at the first game out of the chute at Arrowhead Stadium. They can beat Nebraska there. Cincinnati could very well find their way into the college football playoff. They may not belong. They may not deserve it, but they might get there simply because of what their schedule looks like. So I can't play bonus time then, huh? I can just say goodbye to you guys. Sorry, we're frozen on that side, so I can't play bonus time. But what I can do, I can say goodbye to you guys who are on the replay crew. Thank you for being here. We appreciate it. SiriusXM and Sports Grid TV. We're back tomorrow, same place, same time. For you guys who are watching live, you're not going to move. Bonus time. Well, that starts right now. Okay, I don't know what is going on. So I'm trying to figure out why this is frozen, but this is literally in the 3 years of using this system for our show. This has never happened. I've never seen it lock up like this. So I apologize. I can't do it. You can do the sound effect with my mouth. I don't know. It's not your fault either. It's not your fault. No one's fault. It's not my fault. No one's fault. I don't know. Yeah. Ching, 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 ching. Yeah, there you go. I don't know. I can't play any of it, but I'm kind of pissed off because I can't put the schedule on the screen for you guys, because that I think will really help to. So they're 30-1. Okay. Let me just explain this to you. They're 30-1 to win the Big 12. To give you an idea of what the rankings are. Oh, I guess there's a problem with YouTube. Is that, I just got an email from YouTube. Are they having a problem? Okay. It may be a YouTube problem too, but the Cincinnati's schedule is the following. Okay. They play at Arrowhead against Nebraska. Huge game. If they win that game, all right. If they win that game, not saying they're going to, but if they do win that game, they play Bowling Green in Northwestern State. They'll open up 3-0 at Kansas. They can win that game. Then they play Iowa State, Central Florida at home, at Okie State. Now, is this going to be a better year for Mike Gundy, or is Mike Gundy getting fired? They stunk last year. Tough game, but maybe a win. Home for Baylor, big. At Utah, awfully tough game. But how Utah sucked last year. Everyone thinks Utah might be back. If Utah is back, okay. But okay. Then they go home for Arizona, home for BYU, and at TCU. They don't play Kansas State, odds-on favorite to win the Big 12. They don't play them. Arizona State, second option to win the Big 12. They don't play them. They don't play Colorado. They don't play Texas Tech. I mean, arguably the four best teams in the Big 12, Cincinnati doesn't play them. They don't play them. I mean, that's amazing. So I don't know. I don't know how that's going to go. I don't know what happens here for Cincinnati, but I think because of their schedule and because they've got a whole new lineup coming in, Scott Satterfield's team, this is not the Cincinnati of a couple of years ago. And remember, year to year, teams can make gigantic leaps. Everyone's been talking about Texas Tech all offseason for Big 12 teams. It's all about the NIL, the money spent, the new players, all of that. But Cincinnati also has gone out there and added a really good offensive line, a new offensive left tackle, new wide receivers to go along with a quarterback who was really good last year. So Scott Satterfield is a proven coach. He's been successful everywhere he has been. So his first 2 years were awful in Cincinnati. Now, this might be the year. It's not going to be Nebraska. Stop it. Come on now. Rule fired if Nebraska loses? No. Disagree. No. I mean, look, Raiola's an incredible kid, incredible talent, but he came in with Patrick Mahomes type expectations. It wasn't really fair. So I don't think the Nebraska fan base, Matt Rule has said, I fixed it. That was the problem. Like Matt Rule was like, I fixed it. We're good. Really? Like, okay. I don't know. So that's the worry, I think, if I'm a Nebraska fan, like all these thoughts that everything's going to be fine and everything's going to be okay. I think it could be Cincinnati. This year's Indiana, a team that everyone's going to say, you didn't play anybody. You don't look the part. You don't, where are you? We don't know where you are. I mean, same part of the country, right? Different conference, but same part of the country. I don't know. I think Cincinnati's got a shot here as being that team that people are going to be talking about, poking holes in their schedule, saying they didn't play the top teams. How could you put them in the playoff? All that stuff. I think very well it could be Cincinnati that winds up being that team. I can't play the stinger for news of the industry. I apologize. I don't understand. I don't know what's going on, but we can do news of the industry. Just can't play the stinger, unfortunately. You can do a little like dun, 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 like spinning thing. We can do like their own version of it for that. It's about Bet Bash. Bet Bash starts today at Circa Sports. I'm headed down today from where I go here. I'll go down to Circa to check out what's happening with Bet Bash. Looking forward to seeing a lot of our friends in the industry. A lot of our friends who have appeared here on this show over the years are in town for it. And I said it yesterday on X. I'll say it again. I'll say it here. These are the events that Dave lives for. Like Dave loves industry events. He loves seeing everyone coming to town. He loves seeing friends who are in town for a week, for 4 or 5 days, whatever it might be. And like, he's always like, he's at Circa till late at night and he's always running crazy. And so I'm headed down, poke my head in, meet some people, see what's going on. I'm not going to Bet Bash, but I'm going to be around Bet Bash. And then from there, I'm going to go and see Dave. So hopefully I'll have a report that I've seen Dave and talked to him personally to kind of get an idea as to how he's doing and what he's looking like for the future and get kind of an idea that I can pass along to you guys. I don't know. I've told you, I haven't spoken to Dave since end of June. So looking forward to seeing my friend and my co-host and my coworker and everything else later on today. So hopefully I'll have a report for you guys coming up tomorrow on the program, but Bet Bash going on here today. And I was going to put this up because I can't put it up, but there's 14 countries being represented at Bet Bash here in Vegas today. It's pretty cool. A lot of people coming in, a lot of industry people are here, a lot of content people are here, a lot of fun to be had. So I'll hopefully be able to pass along some information as to what happened with Bet Bash coming up here later on today when I head down there at Circa for Bet Bash, and can't wait to do our live show coming up here and being a part of everything going on. So that's next week for us with BvB live from Circa Sports after Bet Bash, which starts today here in Las Vegas. Finally, favorite thing about today was our conversation with Austin. We've been looking Herdina. The guy in Milwaukee pronounced his name Herdina. So I was listening to an interview he does with the home of the Brewers. He goes on their station every week. And so that's why I said Herdina. That's not how that guy said it, but it's Herdina. So I do apologize. I hate when I say saying people's last names wrong always makes me angry because it's a very simple thing. People who are giving you your time, you should give them the ability to say their last name correctly. So I do apologize to Austin again for that, but he was awesome. It was great to talk about the casino up there in Milwaukee. In Potawatomi Casino, we've seen great pictures. We've seen a lot of fun stuff with what they've done up there. And folks have been raving about how nice it is and how excited they are to have that outside of Milwaukee to watch games and watch Packer games and whatnot. And it's really kind of one of the fun new pieces of sports betting going legal across the country is that you can have sports books like that built in places like Milwaukee. And we've been in Chicago. We hope to go up there at some point and do a live show in Milwaukee. I don't know when we would do it, but I would love to go up there and do it just because I've been to Wisconsin a bunch. I've never been to Milwaukee. No, I haven't been to Milwaukee. Sorry. I've been to Milwaukee. I've never been to Green Bay. I've been to Milwaukee and I've been to I've been never to the ballpark, though. I've never seen a Packer game in Green Bay, never seen a Brewers game. But the company that I worked for in Omaha, their headquarters was in Milwaukee. So I have been up there before, but it would be awesome to get up there, especially right now. I mean, I'm all in. I have the 27-1 ticket on the Brewers to win the World Series. I hope to goodness I'm cashing that. Let's go. So really excited about watching what the Milwaukee Brewers today. Hopefully they keep it going, make it to 12. If they don't, well, we'll talk about it coming up tomorrow on the program, 1 p.m. Eastern time. Tomorrow, Debro is back. We'll break down the AFC West for season-long prop betting tomorrow on the program, so don't want to miss that. For us, we'll go heavily into the NFL. Go and like this podcast. Subscribe to our YouTube channel at Boston versus the Book. Big show coming up tomorrow for our Thursdays, Bostonian versus the Book.